Let's begin with a breaking update. What we are learning that the government is likely to bring upon an impeachment motion against Justice Varma in the monsoon session. The government is hopeful of getting support from the opposition on the impeachment motion, and the government has reached out to the opposition leaders to sound them about its intention to bring in the impeachment motion against Varma, Justice Varma, in the monsoon session. Opposition parties seem to be on board, as Justice Varma apparently has refused to resign from the court. CGI had also written to the President and to the Prime Minister about the impeachment process to be initiated against him, along with the report of the Supreme Court appointed panel investigating the cash found at his residence. This is the biggest update as far as in Justice Varma case, as sources now are being we are learning through sources that Modi government's next big step could be the impeachment motion that can now be set in the upcoming monsoon session of Parliament. And it seems that the motion would be prepared against Justice Varma. Let's get in a word from Pragya, who's connected with us. So is Bhavtosh. And also Priyank is also there. Good morning to all of you. Pragya, how do we understand this as far as when it comes to this impeachment motion is concerned against Justice Varma in the upcoming monsoon session? What is that the government will do, and is the opposition on board?
Well, this looks like the initiation of the process to remove Justice Varma. In fact, the CJI had asked Justice Varma to resign or to take a voluntary retirement, to which he refused. And this is exactly a time when CJI had to send a report to President and Prime Minister attaching the in-house committee report. We are given to understand that government is also likely to bring an impeachment motion in the monsoon session. And not just that, the process has already begun. From our reliable sources, we are given to understand that government has also reached out to the opposition parties asking whether they are on board for the removal, because you need 2/3 of the majority when you start this impeachment motion process in the Parliament. You need 2/3 of the majority in Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha as well. So it looks like they have reached out to the opposition leaders, and it also looks like the feelers from the government that have come is that the opposition leaders are also okay with government bringing this impeachment motion. Obviously, this will lead to a larger debate on judiciary, but having said that, the initial process to to remove Justice Varma had to be started, and in fact, after he refused to resign, there are allegations. This is not a small thing that CGI, the then CGI, in fact, Sanjeev Khanna had returned to President and Prime Minister. They write only in case that they found there is a substance and evidence, and in the in-house inquiry report that needs some action, and this is exactly when the report has been sent to President and Prime Minister by the then CGI, and we are learning that government is likely to bring an impeachment motion this monsoon session itself.
All right, let's get in a word from Bhavtosh as well. Bhavtosh, what was the findings of the inquiry committee?
Well, in the last week of his term, Justice Khanna submitted the inquiry panel report to the Prime Minister of India and also to the President. This happened, and what it also meant was that Justice Varma refused to resign. Now, the inquiry committee report, according to sources, did admit that partially burnt currency note, the visuals of which we are showing on the screen, reputedly belonged to Justice Varma. That's what the inquiry commission found. And also there was an attempt to remove the cash which was unburnt by his staff. Now, Justice Varma denied this. Justice Varma said that it was found in an outhouse which was not connected to his main residence. But the inquiry committee, which recorded the statement of the Commissioner of the Delhi Police, because the first respondents were police officers from nearby Tughlaq Road Police Station, and also that of Chief Fire Officer, and also the fire tenders and fire officials who had went to his residence from the Safdarjung fire station. They all, in fact, had said that when they reached there, his staff was present. Now, when they also admitted that his staff hurriedly removed them from the spot at around post-midnight. The statement corroborated with the finding of the inquiry commission. So the inquiry commission did mention that the currency note, in a way, are linked to Justice Varma, though Justice Varma in his statement completely denied this. Coupled with the report that was submitted by the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court, it was incumbent on Justice Varma to submit his resignation. Okay. The report was then submitted by the Chief Justice of India to the PMO and President. Earlier, the Home Minister had met the President. Now, one has to wait and see whether the government will be moving the impeachment motion in the monsoon session or not.
All right. Priyank, according to the findings of the committee, was Justice Varma given the option to either resign or face the impeachment proceedings?
Yes, certainly, Amita. 9th of May was the time when he was supposed to resign. If he did not resign, there was an impeachment process which was supposed to follow. Let me tell you to our viewers that what is going to happen next. According to the Article 124(4), there are two options which can lead to impeachment of a sitting judge of a high court, which means that if the committee has proved misbehavior or the incapacity of this particular judge, or there are the two special majority from the parliament. The process will certainly land up at both the houses, where around 100 of the Lok Sabha MPs will have to show their note, or the 50 of the Raj Sabha will have to go with the motion. Both the houses will have to agree on this particular fact, the motion which will be moved to the parliament, and there has to be 2/3 of the majority. So at this moment, what we can certainly see that since the inquiry committee has taken statement from all the officers who were posted on duty, and it was certainly non-believable fact that anyone could have entered in this highly restricted and high-profile area, which was claimed by Justice Varma that there is some sort of conspiracy. We have also reported from the location, and it was barbed wires, high fencing walls, and security of the CRPF, which could not have allowed these individuals, suspects, to move inside the house. So certainly the 2/3 of the majority from both the houses of the parliament, with 100 of the Lok Sabha.
So it's a parliamentary process there. Swapnil Kothari is also connected with us. Swapnil, how do we understand as far as if there have been, past cases of impeachment? How would you explain the in-house procedure put in place by the Supreme Court and delve into earlier instances of judges being caught on the wrong side of the law? Swapnil? All right. In the meantime, Pragya, if you can also talk about the parliamentary process. It includes inquiry committees that are expected to investigate charges of if any proven misbehavior or incapacity. Has there been previous examples of impeachment?
Well, what we are given to understand, there are 3-4 instances when this impeachment motion has been brought in, but it failed. In fact, it could not get 2/3 of the majority. There are times when few of the members thought that the evidence is not enough. But in this case, in this particular in-house committee report has been attached and has been sent to President and also to Prime Minister. Many of the judges, given the fact that scenes that we had seen outside Justice Varma's residence, and also given the fact that he refused to resign, many in the opposition also believe that this is the time when judiciary should face action if they are also allegedly involved in corruption cases. So this is the sentiment across the opposition as well, and this is probably the reason why government has initiated this process to have opposition also on board, because they want, if they bring in impeachment motion against Justice Varma, at least it should see through. And this is exactly why they have reached out to opposition last week. They are in talks with other opposition members as well to see where they stand, and many of the opposition members in principle agree right now that impeachment motion should be taken up in this monsoon session, and not just that, it should be passed, because this is high time that judiciary also come down from its high horse and also face action and law if there are.
Would an example be said? Swapnil, if you can hear me now. Because what does the precedent say? Is there cannot be any criminal case, what it says, that cannot be registered against a judge of a High Court or of a Supreme Court without the prior permission of the Chief Justice of India. So how does the proceedings go?
Well, I think the impeachment will be simple. The option was given to Justice Varma that he should resign since the report was unfavorable. He chose not to resign, so obviously the impeachment proceeding is going to take place. The FIR part was rejected because this impeachment proceedings was sub judice, in the sense that the decision was lying with the Prime Minister and the President. And if the Parliament has now chosen to initiate the impeachment proceeding, obviously, Amita, it's going to take place, and that's the reason why the Parliament is trying to muster up the requisite numbers that are required to ensure that the judge is finally removed and has to demote office. He's obviously not getting any work, even if he's sitting there.
So at best, he is going to be removed, and I don't see any reason why there should be any criminal proceedings. If you want to do it, you can take permission from the Prime Minister or the President. But I think impeachment should suffice. If he's not there, he's not there, and if all the money is recovered or to whatever extent it's recovered, you can recover it. And if you want to initiate FIRs and if you want to create a criminal proceeding, then you require the permission of the Chief Justice. And then if the Chief Justice so wishes, after that he's impeached and after he's demoted from office, and you want to try him like any ordinary criminal you wanted to, that you would, you can do the same.
So do you believe that example needs to be set in this case?
Yeah, I believe so. If you want to set a precedent, you can set a precedent that 50 crores is not a small amount, or even for that matter, even if it was 50 lakhs of rupees. Because ultimately, as a judge, you're supposed to give justice, and if you're going to do justice for cash, whatever it may be, whatever the amount it may be, it's absolutely a mockery of the judiciary, and judiciary is the last pedestal. At the end of the day, where we are running a democracy today, 140 crores. People have that kind of faith in the judiciary, because when there is an executive lapse or a legislative lapse, it's the judiciary. So far, it's the judiciary which has rendered seminal judgments. You've got one bad apple, you've got to fix the rod, and you want to set an example, and you must. And that is what any Chief Justice should be doing. Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna initiated. He went by the book. Chief Justice Govt has to follow that precedent, and if he wants to do that, post the impeachment, if you want to initiate FIR, because I don't think, even whilst this impeachment proceeding is sub judice, there is going to be any chance of, if there is another petition to say that, let's file an FIR against him and let's initiate criminal proceedings, that will be jumped. So, let's wait and watch till the impeachment proceedings are over, and unfortunately, till date.
But Swapnil, I'm going to allow you to complete your point there, because this is going to be a big development if it takes place. The government likely to bring upon an impeachment motion against Justice Varma in the upcoming monsoon session, requesting Pragya, Priyank, Bhavtosh and Swapnil to continue to be with us. We're going to head into a very short break, coming back on more on this, exactly what happens from here on. Back after this.